Welcome back. This is the second installment of a different type of victim, one maybe that you never knew existed. In my mind, there are at least 4 types of victims I'm trying to bring to the forefront in this season. And in no particular order, there are victims like myself who got defrauded from their entire life savings. Then, there's the victims whose images have been used to scam targets. Then, the victims who were trafficked to commit these crimes. And lastly, the families of all of those victims who live in as much pain as their loved ones. No one except those at the very top of the chain gain anything from this fraud. We need to go after those perpetrating these crimes. This episode contains discussion of human trafficking, coercion, violence, and psychological trauma. Listener discretion, again, is advised. A soft-spoken young man from Uganda, fresh out of university and searching for a job opportunity. His cousin introduces him to an agent recruiting for jobs abroad, a chance to work, earn money, and build a future. He's never traveled before, but like so many young people hoping for a better life, he takes the chance and prepares to go. What he does not know is that the promises waiting for him are built on deception. This is a story of manipulation, coercion, captivity, torture, and survival. Clariba was not recruited for a job. He was trafficked, not recruited, not employed, enslaved, forced to labor within a hidden criminal world he never even knew existed. His story is difficult to hear and heartbreaking to imagine. The stories like his are happening every day across parts of the world, where criminal networks prey on hope and desperation. This conversation may be challenging, but I hope you will stay with us, because behind the headlines and statistics are real people with real families, dreams, and lives that are forever changed. Today, rather than remaining silent about what happened to him, Clariba is working through Action Against Trafficking to raise awareness of trafficking recruitment patterns, support prevention efforts, and advocate for people who remain trapped in these systems. His story is not only about survival, it's also about turning lived experience into action for others who may still be at risk. Because of the distance between us and the conditions under which this interview was recorded, you may notice occasional audio challenges. If you have difficulty understanding portions of Clariba's accent, this episode is also available on YouTube with captions. Thank you for listening. And if this touches your heart like it did mine, and you have the ability, please consider supporting the work of Action Against Trafficking. Information on how to support their efforts can be found in the show notes. Here's the next heartbreaking conversation. All right. Well, let's first start, and I really appreciate you coming on this podcast. I mean, I think it's good for people to hear the other side of the victimization. Let's start with your name. Your name is rather long to us in the U.S.
Yeah, it's wrong.
Say it slowly.
Okay. My name is Semogerere. Semoge Clariba.
Okay.
Clariba.
Clariba. I got that.
Semogerere.
One more time.
Semogerere.
Semogerere. Oh boy.
Yeah, right.
Sort of. Got it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Again, thank you. What I would like to do progression-wise here today is hear your story. You were trafficked. You went to Cambodia?
No, I went to
To where?
Thailand.
Thailand. Okay. Tell us how long ago this was, what it was like once you got on the ground, your whole experience, whatever you feel comfortable in sharing. And how long have you been home now?
I've been home for 2 years.
2 years. Okay. So you're getting over the trauma part of it, right? Sort of. Because I was scammed too. Well, it's been a couple of years now, and I'm to the point where I can discuss it without, being re-traumatized. But yeah, that stuff to say will always be traumatized. But anyway, if you wouldn't mind starting there, I would appreciate it.
As I said, my name is Clariba. I repeat it again. So I'm a victim of human trafficking, and that's one of the core values of starting up the Action Against Trafficking organization, because of what I passed through and how it started. You get. So I passed through a lot. I spent a year trapped there. We are trapped, not me alone. I was trapped with other fellows. Fellow Uganda. We were like 50. We managed to get out of the compound around. We came back 20. We managed to come out of the compound, 23 of us. We left others still trapped, and we continued talking to them, communicating, mostly us, because we had leaders. I was part, and my other fellow were still. We were part. We used to communicate to the outside world, to inform, for help, for like what's happening. Yeah, so that's how we managed to get out. And we are 50, as I said, but 23 remained. 23 got out. We are the 20 got out, and the other 27 remained trapped. Yeah. So that lived experience pushed me with my fellows, because we started the organization, series of us among the 23, to try and sensitize Ugandans, because how recruitment is not the same way they like. It's not structured like a system. Like for instance, a registered company that is taking, it's not. The recruitment process is among the local people, the community people. So it is really difficult to monitor, both government and security agencies to monitor it, because neighbor, brother, sister, and uncle can recruit you into such compounds, into trafficking. So we decided to create the initiative, the organization, for such goals, for awareness, for education purposes, for help, like reintegration, helping those survivors, because we still receive calls, some in Cambodia, some in Laos, some in Myanmar, some in Malaysia. So there is a triangle there. We receive like calls, people come through when they see our website, our posts. Ugandans come through, and some other nations, countries, like people from Kenya. So it is a wide syndicate, you get, that is not, it's overlooked upon, most here in Uganda. Here in Uganda, we mostly think of the Middle East as a hotspot, but the Far East Asia is being like overlooked. That's why we came up and we stood up. As soon as we arrived back in Uganda in 2024, we came up and started it, and we are pushing. So I passed through a lot, as you asked for my personal experience. I was recruited, like I was trafficked by a person that you couldn't expect to. She was a friend to my cousin, whom brought up a job opportunity. And by then I had just finished university. You get, I had just finished, then I was looking for a job. Here came that opportunity from that lady to my cousin. And then the cousin informed me about it. And there are a lot of things that these people consider before recruiting a person into their compounds. There are a lot of requirements they do follow.
Were your targets Americans?
Those people target Americans mostly, and yes, targets for Americans.
So they were looking for English speakers when you were
Yeah, right.
trafficked,
English speakers,
and
and
writers.
you have the ability to use the computer. You're
Okay.
not an illiterate. Yeah, you have that ability. They look for that English speaker, ability to use computer, ability to type, such abilities.
So the lady that approached your cousin wasn't aware of the trafficking part.
My cousin wasn't aware, but for the lady was aware because my cousin used to work from the Middle East, where he made that friend of his. So when he came back to Uganda, also this agent came back to Uganda. Like they came in almost the same interval. And when they came back here after some time, they met in town because he told me I have met my friend and he has told me I was with her in Dubai gate. So he has told me there is a job opportunity and you've finished campus. You can look through it and it's safe. You can do it. So that's when I met that woman. But my cousin didn't know. But for the woman, the agent knew about everything, about the structure. Yes.
Had she been trafficked before? Did I mean, was
No.
she a victim of that, or she was just a recruiter?
She was a recruiter, but a recruiter who knows the bosses and what they do and where they are. Yeah.
So she just basically is looking to be paid to put
Yeah, right.
somebody in slavery.
Yeah. By the way, what I got to know when we reached there, each head was bought $5,000.
Did you have to pay your own way to Thailand?
Yeah.
And they said you would be reimbursed, and you probably weren't, right?
Like
Or did they reimburse you?
it was like this agent first gives terms and conditions for you to be connected to what she calls secure. And those terms and conditions include actually include fees, agent fees for her. When she gives you the amount that I want such an amount for you to be connected. You get? And everything in that process seems and looks to be legitimate. For instance, me, I had never traveled, but if what is brought onto the table looks legitimate than what we expect, yeah, they bring the hotel bookings and she explains that these hotel bookings are where you're going to stay. They bring the air tickets, everything is organized, you get, and visas, they give you the visa and your passport, yeah, like you get. So you don't get any doubt. This person tells you when you reach that site, you can either say, I don't like the job and you return because you have an hotel booking for 7 days and you have an air ticket, both going and the return ticket, you have both. So it becomes really difficult to notice that there is
Yeah.
something fishy. Yeah. So
It's designed that way so that you're
yeah,
not suspecting.
yeah, properly, yeah. And
Right.
it is designed in a very fast way. Like it is very fast. If you start with a process like that agent agrees upon, okay, you've given me my money, okay. It will take not more than 5 days for you to be off Uganda, off any country to that side. But when you reach
So,
that seat, it's another story.
so tell me what happened once you got to Thailand. What did they how from the airport to the compound? How did that work?
It is really traumatizing. Yeah,
If
it
you
is.
don't want to talk about that, then that's fine. But
It,
but we can just
because
say that you went from the airport, you were escorted somehow into the compound.
no,
Wait, no?
it was like we traveled 5 of us, like a group of 5, and it was really scary because when this person, the agent, told us one instruction: wherever you reach, take a picture and I see to where you've reached. We used to take pictures in each destination from by that picture to airport, Savannah, a picture. So we took a picture, the last one, we're using the airport internet, and we sent it to her, and she said, wait, you wait on gate, such a gate, and I will give you more instructions to what to do. So we waited for around 30 minutes. Then there came a black SUV. Yeah. So that black SUV had a man. So we didn't know that that's what has come for us. Then that man came out. Due to language barrier, he used the translation and phone with our picture that we had taken. And we showed to, is this you? And he said, that's us. Then we sent this one a WhatsApp message again. There's a person who has come here. I said, yeah, that person is that person, and this is the car you get. So then that was a long story. We got into the car. We were new to the country, no language. Yeah, it was a long story. We reached somewhere, they separated us, and some went to it, and some went into the other car as we came, but we were separate. Then a long journey started. Yeah, a long journey.
How many hours did it take to get to the compound?
We reached at around 4 in the evening that time, and compound reached the other following day. We closed borders. We closed borders. So we passed through military part. So we passed through Thailand, then to another country, Myanmar, to their compounds. Then again, we are transferred to another place. So it was threatening. We didn't know, we didn't eat. This person had a gun, out, locked in the car, you don't know where you're going. So that was a long journey and so traumatizing.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what that was like for you. Once you got to the compound, how did they train you? You got some training, I assume. What was that structure like?
It was forceful, and there was no choice, and because all thing was done in military, like through military way, because we are civilians, you don't know. Now you're surrounded by the military, and everything is done by, if you have to learn in such and such a given time, not like they give you a script already structured that we want you to do this, and this, and this, and this. Immediately you start, you sign contract, you don't know the language, you sign. So the training was not sitting on the blackboard and starting, hi, this, say this, no. Translator, they give you what they want to know with immediate effect. You have to learn while doing what you're doing. And if not, poachaments are there, military. So we found a lot of nations there. As soon as we reached people, we found their fellow Ugandans and other, they said, now you're dead. Now you forget about home. Because, we reached the inside, but where we passed through mountains and military guns everywhere. And once we reached whom we found there, said, forget about home. What? Forget about home. We thought it's a joke. But as soon as we reached, then we were moved into a big building full of computers, and we were sat. Translator came with what they want. They talked in their language, then translated in 2 hours into English, then said start.
But how long did you have to work every day?
We used to work around 13 hours in
And
13,
oh,
13 hours on a
13.
computer. Yeah, on a computer. And that's 13. But there are other hours extra because on average, you were given 3 hours for 4 of rest. Then when those 4 hours, getting 4 hours is because you've hit that target or you've done something impressive. But if not, 13 plus extras to reach to where they want, or those are that's extra. You have to cover. You get so it was but
And can you tell us what happened if you don't meet the quotas?
these people had a prison.
Let me ask you one thing. Were your captors, were they Thai or were they Chinese or what? Who were
They
these
were
people?
they were Chinese, if I may to specify, but these people are confusing those Asians. They seem to be like, but mostly if you can identify, you can say Chinese if you have to identify. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you don't meet their targets, there are a lot of tortures, but they are the prison in general. And this prison, do you know a burglar fence?
What was that?
Burglar fence. No, you know fence with iron net. You know iron, a metal,
Iron,
metal.
metal. Uh-huh.
Yeah, like a fence like that. Like a structure like it with metal, but it's a fence. Okay.
Okay.
So that's where the maximum prison is. Like that's the maximum prison. You'll be tied, like handcuffed, standing inside because it's not sheltered. Like it's a fence, a long one outside. Then you'll be handcuffed like this, you get standing straight. Then on the other side, there is military, like it's the one supervising get, and they just know one word: don't sleep. You should stand there for not less than 3 days. They are standing, and you don't eat. They
And
give you rice on this one.
so you're outside, so you're in the heat
Yeah.
because
So
Thailand's hot.
day and night, and don't sleep because they have military. They change intervals, like some come day, some come night, those come. So it all supervise you with one word: don't sleep. Okay. So you don't sleep. Don't sleep. You be there standing, and you get some strokes like canes. You know strokes canes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. For those that supervise during the day, they give you some strokes in the morning, and the others that come at night, they give you some whips at in the evening when they arrive for their you get. So they change positions, like if you're standing facing them for the strokes, you look the others, they change and you look the other side, all of you in that line, that sequence, and you are whipped for the day, morning and then evening. Then after whipping, then you return and again face them. If you try to dodge, there is electricity that will wake you up. So in such conditions, and apart from the prison, women used to go into periods, and if when you're in that side, because they used to call it the dark room, they used to go into periods. They don't know a woman and a man. same treatment, because they are made, they don't know one another. So, then apart from the prison, also in the other building, there are a lot of tortures. You get? So, it's a lot. Whatever you know that is extreme, they do it, and it's normal. As long as you do what they expect. So they, some people died, not one. Most Ethiopians died. But
What happens when they die? Are they sent home, or do their families just never hear from them again?
there is a river where they deposited.
But I mean, do their families know what happened?
Where? Which family? Do they know your family? No. And who will know? They deposit your body into the river. And we used to be in such condition. Your neighbor is not, that person. The other is not. And so sometimes, and they also sell you that slavery. After from that couple, they sell you to another. We were sold to different places.
So did you scam men or women?
It was mostly men.
Mostly men. So you posed as a woman.
And
Did they have women there to, like, models that would talk to, if there were any video calls?
yeah, they would have the woman that is in the picture. That's the woman that will be on videos. The man.
Tell me how you got away.
When you're that side, you're not allowed to be with phones. Phones were confiscated from day one, but God was with us because we passed through a lot of checkpoints and we realized that where we're going, because first thing, it was passports away. The passports were taken forcefully because they said your passport, translate your passport. And why should we give you your passport? Our passport. And then they checked their suitcases, their belongings, they took them back. And we know something is going to be tough where we are. So phones were confiscated, but we managed to smuggle 2 phones. Because one of us came with 2 phones. And he had 2 phones. One was taken, and one of us also claimed not to have a phone, but others were taken. Because we were 5. Others were taken. So they checked, what is the phone? You have. They checked it. They didn't find it. Oh, thank God, because it was under the suitcase and they checked on top and they didn't say so. Those phones that we smuggled, that was one of our parts of getting out, because when we reached here, things got tight. Keep on losing people. You keep on getting beat. You keep on getting electrificated. You keep on getting beat, and women are also the same. We say now we have to look for a way out. So we use their internet, which they were using, to connect to our phones that we had, and we tried to seek. And one of the things, that's why when we came back, we started this organization. Reaching out home is one of the most frustrating things to get help. We try to reach out to different executives, like different officials. They almost neglected that. Like, we don't know their what can I get? So, and some responded. Others, what? So, made efforts. We made a lot of efforts as we kept on pushing from this side, because these people reached an extent and they knew that we have phones. So they tried to because to reach an extent, our names were published on Twitter newspapers, if you can check. Ugandan newspapers were published that because it was a big thing and Uganda did not yet got an experience that there are cases in the Far East Asia. So it was a big thing, it was published, and these people saw it online that, hey, we have such Ugandans that we are here. They are facing because we took pictures. These are the people we have in here. So they checked and they tried to place us for the funds, but they failed. Yeah, and God helped us that the funds were so kept under a lot of secrecy. Because even the fellows who are used to spy on us, who was the phone, who tell us, we give you something to get, but we didn't manage to. And our way out, we had a list of names we had made because those compounds are big. We made a list of names, but they managed to let only 20 of us out of the 50 that we made.
How many?
23 of us were let out.
Three?
Yeah, out of the 50. After a lot of negotiations with the government. Yeah.
Wow.
But it was a special day. After a year of struggle.
So how did you pay for a plane to take you home? Who paid for a plane ticket?
I helped us. IOM.
IOM?
Yeah, helped us to come back home. Yeah, but that's why we created our organization, because we are there, we had no one to talk to, and we are pushing something that here in Uganda, most people are ignorant of. They don't know what you get. We had no organization here in Uganda we were pushing. They didn't know anything about. So we reached here and we knew that we have to start up our representation, like the NGO, because we have a list, we have a lot of people. They are still stranded, but due to lack of support, we cannot. But we have them, and we push them to the security, to agencies, to the ministries, to know about them, to find a way of helping. And others are still going. There are a lot that are going, and there are a lot that are there that are stranded. So our way back was helped by IOM. Yeah.
Okay. So are you married?
Me? I'm not.
Okay. So when you came home, did you go to your parents' home, or did you already have a separate home? I mean, were you welcomed back, or did people look? No, tell me about that.
I was discriminated. Like, if you live one country, like family relatives, if you live for abroad, they expect something to come from your side, like financially. And when you come back without it, they say you're a failure. You get? And we are discriminated. I was personally, because I was alone, I was discriminated very, because I was traumatized. I didn't have any support. We were repatriated, but you reach out to a family member. Yeah, you came back. Yes. Okay, we shall talk. It. So my mom is alone, is a single mom, and they have siblings. So it was difficult to help me. She was in the village. So I spent 3 days sleeping near the street, like in the city square, to try to figure out how can I start up Uganda. So when sound started becoming tough, I got some transport. I went to the village where my mom was.
Did you tell your mom what happened?
She knew when I was there, and she has sickness. She has strokes, like strokes. Like,
Oh,
yeah, she used to face such silence, and I reached an extent of keeping quiet, not giving her any information till I got. We managed to get out, and that's when I gave her the good news that, good news, I'm out. In that time, I'll be back in the country. So she knew when I was there, but in that I kept some things with me without telling her because I knew when the first time I told her I was trafficked and she fainted and she was admitted to hospital, and she almost dying. And I knew that situations are going to become tough because I personally, I was not okay. So I had to keep going. When I reached there. She knew what happened. She knew that I was back. I didn't have a phone, but I managed to reach. I reached.
so now you're trying to rebuild your life.
Yeah, I'm trying with this organization. I do what I can with my songs. I do what I can, reach out and help those. Because internally here, we still have issues about trafficking. As I said, people are recruited, you get. So we have to encounter the recruitment by educating. Then you have to look at this side of the integration because many survivors come back to the country, like they are deported now from different countries, Cambodia, then Laos, then Vietnam, they are deported back and they have nowhere but to go. Some reach out to our website. I've seen your website. I'm in Cambodia. Can you help me? Then we try to liaise with different ministries, different organs. So, yeah, trying. Yeah.
And your NGO is called Action Against Trafficking, then, right?
Yeah.
So, if someone here listens to this podcast and they want to contribute to that, you'll give me the information, right? So we'll do it that way. So, are there people now in Uganda that you know about who are trying to recruit others?
Yeah. That's why we do this because the recruitment process is not structured. It's a random pattern that agents can be individuals. What it's not a company that it's under government, it's registered. You get that you can follow up, it's individual process and online process. So you have to teach the local people that are reached out individually, both online, and that's why it is really, really a strong, like a long process and still a journey. But people are losing their life. People are still going and it's still expanding, and we have to fight that. You get, and Americans are affected. That's why I reach out to teach because Americans are targeted. General Americans are, if they are not taught how it happens, what to avoid, you get how it happens, you get. So it will become so worse. And it is worse, but it will become so worse because these people keep on changing strategies, how through this, through this, through this, through this. So Americans need to be sensitized extensively, how it is done, what to avoid. And here, these Ugandans that are recruited for the labor, they have to also be and be taught, educated, helped, because survivors come back here and it's nothing to do. They are hopeless. You look at your relatives are avoiding, and you say, now, what should I do here at home? I used to do this. And then you see another advert online. Now you say, let me go to this. Maybe this is different from the other side, but it's there. It's the same. They are the same people. The torture is the same. The treatment is the same. The discrimination is the same because these people discriminate a lot. Everything is the same, but different locations. You get so this survivor needs to be here. To needs to be like helped into that way. Even if, because we try to, if someone gives us like in this, by we received some donations, small donations, we start up something here in Uganda. Someone can start up something with something that seems to be small, but like buying machine, popcorn machines, and start up a business and earn the revenue. You get so we do that for whom we know, because you see these five. You see those?
Yeah.
The names of people. They are names of people here. My local, they are names of people here. So all have expectations.
Those are people who have been, those are people who have been trafficked?
Yeah, it's from different nations.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, mostly let's say Vietnam, Laos. We know that combined for different people. So all those have expectations, and we try to follow up. If you see, we try to follow up to see how are you like. They say, "Oh, do you have any expectation for us?" Say, "Don't worry," because here the organizations against trafficking, right? They are here, but mostly every organization, let me say, it's not survival rate. Like they don't know the pain, they don't know what's going on. I had an organization, what mentioned, I went to when I was here for partnership game, like context. I reached here, they have a program for survival integration, like psychological, what, and I asked, whom do you have under those, like the psychological support, the reskilling and what? And they said, for now we don't have. And they said, I have a lot, I can do the referral to you and develop those. They said, we have a criteria that we will follow. And said, I have a criteria. This is person is a survivor. Everything it shows is from trauma, because I was there. I know what happened. I know how it is feeling at the moment. And you say you have a criteria, meaning this person, you will neglect that person because it's not into your criteria. And yeah, so there are a lot of challenges here. That's why most people that come back that have been trafficked, I take resort to just trying the other location that I seen online. We get, and the process it reverses, and this person again starts looking for help. But because he saw another location, thought it would be something different. Like, because the location, they say they pay this, they pay. You say, I was in Cambodia. Now, this location is in Vietnam. Why shouldn't I go and try this Vietnam? Maybe it's different from that in Cambodia. Yet they are the same people. And they do the same thing. And you reach there, and then play again, and he died because people died. So it is really frustrating, and there is no help. But when NGOs, because they are here, the big ones, for us that are worse, the small, but the big ones don't look upon like what's happening. That's bureaucracy, that's side, and maybe they don't know what happens when someone is trafficked. They just have the terms like a human trafficking, but it's different.
Yeah.
There is a lot of challenges here.
In Uganda, are they targeting, is it mostly by your abilities, or do they also look for between the ages of whatever and whatever, like 20 and 40, or do they pay attention to that?
We are five, as I said. They don't look into ages, because one of us, the five that went, was a lady. She was 43 years old.
43, okay.
Yeah, she was by that time. So as we are youth, but the other one, maybe they don't look into ages, as long as you can read and write.
And do computers.
Yeah, and you can speak You're finished.
Okay. Okay.
You know that computer, then you are off.
Uganda's pretty big, right? They've got a lot of people to choose from.
Yeah, they have a lot of, but they mostly concentrate in border areas, because they can either take you and you pass via Kenya, you get the border areas, and in the urban areas, that's where youths are mostly concentrated on, like Kampala, the capital city. They target such areas, yeah, for recruitment. For the other far areas, the deeper, those people there, they are too illiterate to know. Yeah, they not exposed. That's why they don't. But here, Kampala and this border areas, Busia, they target here because they go to school in people in those areas, and they are youths there. Yeah, they target those areas. For the other deeper ones, they don't. Yeah, they are illiterate mostly. Someone is illiterate there will come to Kampala, will come to Busia.
Wow.
So it's a hotspot of these areas. Not the others, they don't.
Do you know what the population of Kampala is?
It's around 6 million.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they've got a lot of people to choose from just in that one city.
And people
Okay.
here, yeah, they're illiterate because I mean, we get a lot of cases. I didn't know. Our case was both online, it was on television, it was online, but they don't view media, they are not informed. That's why making like workshops on like per village, it's more easier than going on a television, because most don't watch them. Unless on social media, they can reach out because now phones are rampant. But going for news, because our case reached parliament, reached every state department, but someone, I went, I went, didn't, I didn't know what is having. We have one is having a child, go give birth that side, but is in the deportation center. A lady gave birth, is in the deportation center waiting for a ticket, but you have to, yeah.
The people who are perpetrating this crime just need to be stopped. And it's not you that wanted to do that to me. Um, so that's kind of one thing that I'm curious about too. So what from my point of view is like, how could you do this to me and not have any feelings for me because you've spoken to me in a certain way and I thought you loved me, and but it's probably a woman on the other end, so that there's no
No,
emotional connection.
it is psychological. It is a psychological process in the way for instance, me, if I'm the one, uh, I, I don't want to do it, but look into this. Back in the back, there's military personnel, and in the back of it, there are structured torturements that have been placed that if you don't do what we've said, if you don't meet such and such a target, this and this is arranged for you, and you monitored 24/7, you get, and such pressure, such intimidation, you fear, you get, are you tortured? You reach an extent, let me do what they are saying, and you push harder to do, because they push you to the limits to do what they want you to do.
Yeah.
Engage. So it is so psychological in the way they do it. I'm not interested because I don't gain anything to what I do to you. They gain from it, but I'm tortured. I lost hope. I don't communicate to family. I mean, I'm in a loop of being alone. So it is so that's why we want to put up put up the psychological support, because me personally, I used to wake up like not waking up randomly at night. I see now, okay, now I'm home, it's okay. And you go back to sleep. Then you have the radiations, you see my body, electrification. Yeah, you get my body changed. I was electrified, changed. So what you remember what your past was, because we intended to be stubborn as in order to get out. We try to demand for our passports to died to us, be tortured. We try to hide their phones. Someone beats you up till you give that person that phone you have. You don't give up the phone, meaning you have to endure the pain for a long time till that person gives up and says, okay, he does not have the phone. Right. So it is really trauma. We have a lot to say, to talk. It may be limited time because it's night already, but I am open to educating Americans what to avoid, because there are a lot of channels they use, messages, random messages, Facebook messages, so Telegram messages. So there are a lot of things to avoid, and it has to be both-sided. Like, sensitize Americans, sensitize the human labor they use. That's when these people will be trapped into not recruiting anyone, and whom they recruit is help to come back home. They will have this labor, and once Americans are recruited, like taught, sensitized, then there will be less output to them, and this thing will collapse. 2 weeks, I have 4. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I cannot thank you enough for opening up and helping us understand what's going on. You've got a lot on your plate just educating Ugandans, and your country. But we will get the word out over here as well. And hopefully we can help each other to stop this, somehow stop this.
Yeah, it has to be both-sided. You help us, we help you. Like, each and everyone needs each other.
Yeah.
In other way, because these Ugandans, the innocent ones that are taken, they are the human power that is used. And the Americans that side, they are the people that are targeted. And it's so, both are traumatized, both each loses. Every side loses. I lose my life, you lose your finance. So
and the Chinese get the benefit of all of it.
Yes, because you lose that, you lose your mental stability. So
it's tough all the way around for sure. So okay, well, keep in touch.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, have a good evening.
Okay, thank you for your work. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.